If I could go back in time, I would grab my younger self by the shoulders and say, "Stop. You're making mistakes that will cost you years of your life." But I can't go back, so instead, I'm here to share my hardest lessons with you. For the past 30 years, I've fallen, failed, and picked myself up more times than I can count. I believed love was everything until it nearly destroyed me. I trusted the wrong friends until I realized they were holding me back. I worked myself to exhaustion until my body forced me to stop. I don't want you to make the same mistakes. If you're struggling with love, friendships, or chasing success at the cost of your health, this video is for you. These are the painful lessons I wish someone had told me earlier, lessons that could have saved me years of regret. Let's talk. 1. Love is not everything, but the wrong love can ruin your life. Real story. When I was 20, I fell deeply in love with a man who made my heart race. He was charming, intelligent, and spontaneous, everything I thought I wanted. But he was also unreliable, non-committal, and emotionally distant. For 3 years, I endured an exhausting cycle of love and heartbreak, constantly questioning where I stood in his life. I sacrificed opportunities for him, believing that love required patience and compromise. But in the end, I learned the hard way. Love should not feel like a constant struggle. Years later, I met my husband. His love didn't come with dramatic ups and downs, but it was steady, reliable, and reassuring. After over a decade of marriage, I am grateful I chose someone who gave me peace instead of uncertainty. Advice. If a man makes you feel insecure, neglected, or constantly questioning your worth, he is not the one for you. Love is important, but the right love should uplift you, not drain you. 2. Not everyone who calls you a friend is really your friend. Real story. I once had a best friend who was always by my side. She appeared supportive, but I later realized she thrived on keeping me insecure. Every time I had a big opportunity, she would say things like, "Are you sure you can handle that? What if you fail?" At the time, I didn't realize how much her words influenced me. Because of her doubts, I skipped an important job interview, one that could have changed my career. It took me years to see that she was never truly rooting for me. She just didn't want me to outgrow her. Later, I found real friends, people who celebrated my successes and pushed me forward. That's when I learned the difference between true friends and those who secretly hold you back. Advice. A real friend encourages your growth, not your doubts. If someone makes you question your abilities or always downplays your achievements, it's time to let them go. 3. No matter how much you love a man, never give up your financial independence. Real story. After getting married, I thought taking care of the home was enough. My husband earned the money, and I focused on the family. It felt safe. Until one day he said, "You've been out of work for years. Even if we divorced, you wouldn't survive on your own." That sentence hit me like a slap. I realized that I had no safety net. I had given up my financial independence, and now I was trapped. I had built my sense of security on someone else's stability, and that was my biggest mistake. It took me years to rebuild my career, and the journey was painful. But the moment I earned my first paycheck again, I felt something I hadn't felt in years: self-respect. Advice. No matter how much you love someone, always have your own source of income. A woman should never rely entirely on a man for financial security. Independence is not just about money, it's about having choices. 4. Work is important, but your health is priceless. Real story. In my 30s, I worked endlessly, believing that success required sacrifice. I stayed up late, skipped meals, and ignored every warning sign my body gave me. One day, I collapsed at work. When I woke up in the hospital, the doctor said, "Your body is shutting down. If you keep this up, you won't have a career or a life. But I didn't listen. I kept pushing until I was diagnosed with a serious illness that forced me to stop. It was only when I lost my health that I realized, without your body, nothing else matters. Not money, not success, not ambition. Advice: no job, promotion, or project is worth ruining your health. Listen to your body. Rest when you need to. Take care of yourself before it's too late. 5. The most important relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. Real story. For most of my life, I lived to please others. My parents, my husband, my children. I put their needs first and ignored my own. One day, at 50, I looked in the mirror and asked myself, who am I outside of these roles? I realized that I had never truly lived for myself. So I started to change. I pursued hobbies, traveled alone, and started prioritizing my happiness. For the first time, I felt truly alive. Advice: never forget that you are more than a wife, a mother, or a daughter. You are your own person. Love yourself, take care of yourself, and don't lose yourself trying to be everything for everyone else. Final thoughts. These are the lessons I've learned from decades of mistakes, failures, and experiences. If I could go back in time, I would tell my younger self: 1. Love should bring peace, not pain. Choose wisely. 2. Not everyone is your friend. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. 3. Always maintain financial independence. Don't rely on anyone else for security. 4. Your health is more valuable than your career. Don't sacrifice it. 5. Live for yourself, not just for others. If you are still young, remember these lessons. You don't have to go through the same struggles I did. Learn from my past and build a life where you are truly free, independent, and fulfilled. Because at the end of the day, the best thing a woman can do for herself is to truly live.